It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. The energy.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, viewers. Well, before we get into our next conversation, I just want to give you a little public service announcement of something to look forward on Tobago Updates on Sunday. That's this Sunday at 5 o'clock. We are going to be airing a public meeting from the PNM Tobago Council, where we are going to be able to hear from Prime Minister and, of course, the political leader of the PNM, Dr. Keith Rowley, as well as the political leader of the Tobago Council of the PNM, Mr. Ansel Dennis. So you're going to want to look out for that, and that's happening at 5 o'clock on Sunday, and it's going to be taking place at the Mason Hall Secondary School. All right, so moving on and into this morning's conversation, I am being joined by two gentlemen. First of all, we have Mr. Michael Stewart, who is the International Men's Day Caribbean Ambassador, among other things within our space. And then we are also being joined by Mr. Ted Jones, who is a member of B Men Association. Good morning and welcome to you both.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Great. So, we're talking this morning about an International Men's Day Regional Conference 2023. So, Mr. Stewart, take it away.
So the regional conference is going to take place from the 15th to the 19th in Grenada. It's the first time in the history that we are going to have a regional conference dealing with men.
And this is in November, this month.
This month in November. And so we're looking forward for that, and we are hoping that after that conference, we will have that conference now moving around annually to a different island. That has lots to do with what it is going to do as far as moving the people in the Caribbean and making your country and your island known, the cultural and all of that. But we're going to use International Men's Day to be able to focus on some of the challenges that men. As you may know, that we have not been treated the best over the years. And there are a number of things that we have been disenfranchised with. When it comes to a man, if a woman reports that a man has been abusive, the police don't investigate, they put you out. So that has had its challenges. We've had our challenges in the court when it comes to custody of the child. We've had a recent situation where the court told the man, do you think I will take your child, remove it from his mother and give it to you? And no matter how much the gentleman was saying that the mother was not a good mother, she was abusing the child, she's on drugs, etc., she still awarded it to the mother, even though the man showed, I want to do it, and had the capacity to do it. But she felt that biologically it should go to the mother. That mother killed that child, eventually, after having been given it by the court. You understand? So it seems as though men do not matter, and that is why the theme for the conference is Men Matter. And we need to empower men, we need to elevate men, and we need to explore all the avenues of men for positive transformation.
And Mr. Ted, why is it necessary for us to treat it not just as a Tobago issue, but a Caribbean issue?
Right. Well, actually, good question. And I even think it should be an international issue. But we'll start with the Caribbean. First things first, every society is a great and much better society when our men are empowered to their maximum, right? Our women are more secure, our society is more protected, our society advances more. Reasonable, good men are powerful for any society. And as a result of that, we found that part of the demise of the quality of life is really the demise of our young men and the standard at which they see themselves. So what we need to do is that obviously we need to bring back a certain level of pride in our young men. We also need to rebuild the brand of manhood. The brand, everything has a brand, right? Everything has an image that is portrayed in the mind when it's spoken. So what we need to do is also rebuild that brand so that our young men can find a desire to want to be men again, want to be leaders again, want to not be ashamed of the whole concept of what manhood is, right? And that's basically why we think that the conference like this is so important. Remember, the theme is to embrace, elevate, and empower, right? You think that it's almost it's almost paradoxical that we're talking about empowerment of men when men are supposed to be the symbolism of power, the symbolism of effectiveness. But that hasn't been happening now, haven't it? You know, if we look at our school results, for example, we see that our young men or boys underperform under the curriculum that is there. I'm just asking you, you're a reporter, Kandace, could you imagine if our schools were having young girls performing so under, you know, so under
Certainly.
that like boys are? The outcry that you reporters would not allow that. We'd have to ask the system, what is going on? What is going on that is allowing our girls to underperform in a system and our boys to do so well? Strange enough, though, the system now exists where our boys aren't doing as well. And nobody seems to finger problem. It's just that the boys are playing the fool. Is it that? You know? So those are some of the things that we really have to highlight. We hope that, and that's one of the reasons why we want to have it regional also, so that the regional heads can come together. We are hoping that some of our regional heads come together and start creating policies, even agreements, whatever it is, that can now start looking at our educational system, what is written in our schools, what are written in our school, you know, even in the content of our school stories. You know, I'll just leave with this. For example, I have two daughters, so I'm happy when I can go through my daughter's books and see an example, for example, in subject verb agreement. You know, Anna is excellent at her studies, and Joshua plays the fool. You know, as an example in a thing, you know, you can't ever see anything Joshua is excellent in his studies and Anna plays the fool. That is in no context. So it's always as, even when boys grow up, Mike, you find that the examples that boys have are more towards negative, more towards this antisocial behavior, and the girls are more, even in examples, tuned to being good and being excellent students and that kind of thing. It's
Certainly. And you know, Mr. Stewart, now you were recently in Grenada earlier this week, actually,
Yes.
where you had the launch, a media launch of the conference. And one of the things that you highlighted is that International Men's Day coincides with World Toilet Day.
Yes.
I want
That's
you
right.
to speak a little bit on that.
So we are calling on the United Nations to reconsider. When they brought on International Day of Women, it was purported, and it is on their website, that it is to bring a measure of equality, which is good. But out of 216 days, you have given 10 of those to women and girls, not one to boys. So it was not for equality, because whenever we talk about equality and we say gender, those two words really do not mean, in the minds and thoughts of people, men. It always refers to women. So I've gone to some of these equality conferences and some of these gender equality conferences and so on, and all that is spoken about is what women should get. Has nothing to do with men. Now we're doing a census, and the census is talking about what is the standard of living and the standard of happiness, etc., of women, etc. But in the same house is a man. The same time you go to that house to do the census, you could have done it for the men. And you ask yourself, where does that go? What does that send as a message to people? Do men really matter? I saw an advertisement, and it says from the advertisement, women first. This was from a bank. So I'm using my money to sponsor the bank, put it in the bank gains all of that interest of it, and then you turn around and say, women first. What are you actually saying? What is the psyche of that? And so a number of things we have left undone and we have taken for granted, but I think that the time has come, and we want to appreciate the people of Grenada, the government of Grenada, that says, let us start a movement that would be able to start changing this around. And so that is how come we were in Grenada recently, that we had the opportunity to meet with the Prime Minister of Grenada, a very young man and a bright young man. I had the opportunity to present to his cabinet, invited to speak to the cabinet to tell them about what plans we have for it, as the ambassador for International Men's Day. And so what is coming out of this is this conference that is going to take place. We're asking each country to send at least 2 delegates to the conference. And if we could get ministers also to attend the conference, people who make policies to be able to attend, it is going to be something that is going to be awesome. We're also asking for men who have made themselves renowned for being good examples to be sent also, so that they'll be awarded and recognized, so that we'll change the conversation from all the things that men have done wrong to things that men are actually doing good. So start elevating and start lifting up men in that sense.
And what's going to happen at the conference itself? What is on the agenda?
Right. So the agenda is structured for men. So he's not going to have a conference from Wednesday to Sunday, sitting down inside of a hotel to listening to talk. The first day is going to be formal. The Prime Minister is going to be there of Grenada, and we are hoping that we'll have our own local assemblymen to also attend to it. The government of Trinidad and Tobago has been written to and invited to attend, and so all countries, OECS have been invited, and so we are hoping that we have a good turnout for it. And in the conference, we'll have the formal part, and then we are going to have a business component. As you know, Mr. Jones is the founder of a business that brings out a sanitizing product support. And so business is going to be part of it, because what we want to do is to start making our young men understand business. It's not just about being employed by somebody, but you can also become an employer. And that is going to be very crucial as far as that is concerned. ICT, we have ICT with women that is being broadcast and promoted, getting them hands-on with technology. Girls in ICT. But do we have boys in ICT? When I was trying to Google, I'm not seeing boys in ICT. I see boys supporting girls in ICT, but I'm not seeing ICT for boys. How do we get technology into the hands of the men that they can be able to build apps and make money for people building apps, etc.? So we're going to have that. And then we're going to have some lectures also on the emasculation agenda. And so we'll have some talks on that. But that is just for that formal day. The rest of the days, we are going to be hands-on in the trenches. So we will have a motorcade around the island of Grenada, going to all the hotspots. We're going to have police support. We've spoken with the police there already. And that is going to be awesome, because we're going to meet the people where they are, because the people that we need to reach will not be coming to the conference. So we are going to go to meet them. We are going into the jails. We are going into the home for the boys, and we are going in there and talk with them and influence them, etc. And we're going to be stopping at certain places of bars where we'll be able to have a chat. So we're going to have a lot of outside interaction, and we are looking forward to it. It is going to be exciting.
So, Mr. Jones, after this conference is over, what are you hoping that would come out of it?
Great. So obviously it's about empowerment of men, and part of the agenda, as Michael mentioned before, have been the concept of the business part of it. So there are 2 things that we definitely hope to leave there. One is a renewed, revamped interest that men can find value and find worth in business, and 2, the fact that they can now get a history of the entire agenda of manhood, what we are about. In other words, it's about the empowerment of them. But yes, at the end of the conference, there should be some degree of added wealth, added income, added purpose, added sense of purpose. The funny thing about a man, though, is that the things that are to be invented, that have not been invented yet, will come from a man who is motivated, or maybe a woman. Yeah, just throw that in. But the point is that wherever it comes from, it will come from somebody who is motivated. And what we want to do is ultimately motivate our young men and our men in general, help them to find a place. The other thing that we would want to have come out of the conference, and it's vested in the theme song, which is for the world to sit back and learn us. Learn who men are. Really take a deep look inside and see, for example, what makes us tick. Why is it that there's the the struggle that some of them have, because there's a reason. There has to be a reason. And it cannot be a blanket statement, well, all of them playing the fool. All men are dogs. All men are this. It can't be. Simply because we are the only species upon the face of the earth, in my view, that are judged on the worst of us.
Yes.
Right? Every other, including women, are in fact judged on the best of them. So women can be judges. Women can be this. Women can be that. Men, all of them, you see what they're doing? You see how they're beating their wife? You see how they're doing that? That is how men are actually judged.
All right. So, Mr. Stewart, as we're getting ready to wrap, just quickly, when is this conference taking place and how can people get involved?
All right. Well, I'm not too sure whether we'll be having the theme song, whether you have time for it at all.
I'm not sure.
Yes,
I think,
all right.
I
So
think
the
we
theme
do.
song. This theme song was written by a lady, a girl, Cherise Allen from Montserrat, and really produced by Ted Jones and his team. If people are interested, keep following our Facebook page, International Men's Day Regional Conference. It is you can register to attend also on that Facebook page. So we really thank the people of the government of Grenada. We're looking forward for the support of the government of Trinidad and Tobago and the Tobago House of Assembly to be part of this entire mushrooming of good for men and boys.
All right, so I guess we're going to end off things with the theme song. But in the meantime, I want to thank you, viewers, for joining us this morning. And certainly thank you both, Mr. Stewart and Mr. Jones, for being here and for sharing this wonderful initiative. And it's not just happening on a national scale, but a Caribbean scale, and which is what we really need to see as we try to uplift the men within our region. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And viewers, yes, as we go, just have a safe and wonderful day. And we'll see you again tomorrow. But don't forget, we've got, well, not tomorrow, but Monday. But don't forget, we have brunch coming up at 10 o'clock. So.
We don't play. Now, Petri, I know what but we breed every day. Your Honor, them indict we for standing up against the harmful stereotypes that have been perpetrated against the men. I come here to represent myself and a few. We living in a century where we living on lies. Society said the hurdles and we have to comply. We gonna pay, we